Well, I didn't have Salma Hayek shitting at a wedding on my Black Mirror bingo card. That's right, Season 6 of Black Mirror is off to an explosive start with a truly unique story that will have you saying,
Salma Hayek's anus?
Okay, maybe not that, but you can probably guess the type of humor you'll be getting in this video.
I'm sorry that I shat in a church.
So join me as we take a deep dive into JOAN is Awful, all the Black Mirror Easter eggs, and Emmy-worthy dialogue.
And I hope that you get paper cuts in your hemorrhoids and die!
The episode starts with a Netflix-style logo for Streamberry, a multi-million-dollar streaming platform with the goal of creating tailored AI content for all 800 million of its subscribers, and it uses a powerful quantum computer, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Meet Joan Tate, our story's protagonist. Her life's about as vanilla as a Mormon Sunday, but as we'll soon learn, her seemingly perfect life isn't what it's cracked up to be. She wants more from her relationship, her job has her doing the dirty work for a soulless board of directors, and overall she feels that she has no control over her life.
I feel like I'm not the main character in my own life story.
Even Sandy, the co-worker she lets go, calls her a coward.
You're a coward, Joan!
But things are about to change when she and her boyfriend Krish sit down to enjoy some amazing Streamberry content and find a show called JOAN is Awful. But if you look closely, you'll see all the other Streamberry programs are Easter eggs from previous Black Mirror episodes. There are a ton here, so white bear with me. First is Mad Mind, a documentary on Jerome F. Davies, the author of which Bandersnatch is based on. A film called Smart, based off Michael Smart, a politician in Demon 79. Then of course there's Space Fleet from Season 4's USS Callister. And what about Average People? This is the only one I wasn't able to crack, but could be a reference to the fact an average person was deliberately chosen as the inspiration for JOAN is Awful. There's Loch Henry, the next episode in Season 6, and perhaps the biggest Easter egg in Black Mirror, Sea of Tranquility, which is referenced in 4 other episodes. In National Anthem, the special effects expert hired to fake the Prime Minister shagging a pig says he worked on it. And in Nosedive, there are a few characters who chat about attending TranquilityCon. Then there's Smithereens, where hashtag Sea of Tranquility reboot is trending. And finally, in Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, where a reporter talks about it getting a reboot. Next up is Finding Rittman from Black Mirror's Bandersnatch, Hotshot, the virtual talent show whose winners can live a life of luxury from Season 1's 15 Million Merits, Rowdy and Peanut, an animated show on Netflix from the creators of Black Mirror, The Callow Years, a documentary on Michael Callow who had sex with a pig, Fancy Dog's Last Day, which features an image of a Yorkshire Terrier. I think this is a nod to San Junipero, since its main character is named Yorkie, and she too is experiencing her last days. Now we only get to see the top half of the next set of Streamberry originals. There's Season 2's White Bear on the bottom left, and this isn't the only White Bear reference. The law firm Joan goes to is called Skillane Legal, named after the main character from White Bear, Victoria Skillane. Then there's Botherguts, one of the shows Daniel Kaluuya's character watches while peddling for points in Season 1's 15 Million Merits. To the right we can make out On a Roll, a reference to Ashley O's hit single from Season 5's Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2. And of course Junipero Dreaming, a reference to San Junipero, one of my personal favorites in the entire anthology. It doesn't take long for Joan to realize that JOAN is Awful is an exact play-by-play of her life, with actress Salma Hayek playing the titular role. And the show doesn't pull any punches in depicting her in the most awful light possible, firing Sandy without a care, purposely dropping an e-cigarette on her, and making the first move, cheating on her fiancé.
Shame on you.
But as we'll find out later, there's a particular reason for this change. Fun fact, while Sandy is notified about the show on her phone, you can see a message from the Smithereens app, the Uber-style rideshare company seen in Season 5. Now this show completely dismantles Joan's life. She loses her job, fiancé, and can't even get laid because her ex is now having performance anxiety. She could really use some inspiring posts from Season 3's Lacey Pound. And while I'm here, another reference to PM Michael Smart from Demon 79. And if you look really closely, you'll see this message from Tusk the Kid, which says, "You can't cancel me." This is a reference to a literal 2 2-second blurb in Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, where he apparently made a big mistake on a British reality show. Before we get any further, please take a moment to like and subscribe. I'll be covering every episode this season, and every little bit helps. Joan tries to take legal action, but finds that by signing up with Streamberry, she's given them the rights to do anything they want with her likeness. In fact, Joan is Awful is completely written and produced by a quantum computer, with President Mona Javadi stating that this is the future. By taking the likeness of celebrities, they can have the computer come up with stories that are tailor-made for each individual user, and negative content tends to elicit more of a reaction and thus engagement. Hence why Joan is so awful. We'll also see a newspaper article with Mona on the front page, but if you look off to the side, you'll see an article stating grains going out of style. This is a reference to the memory grains, which record all memories found in Season 1's The Entire History of You. But while Joan is pissed that her life is destroyed, so too is Salma Hayek's. That's not the real Salma Hayek playing the role of Joan, rather a CGI version of her after she lent her likeness to Streamberry. And Streamberry has her by the balls. They can do anything as per her contract. So in an act of desperation, Joan shits herself in the middle of a wedding, and Salma Hayek's character who plays her has to do the same thing, thus sullying her image.
I mean, doesn't my asshole have any rights?
Okay.
This is what causes Joan and Salma to join forces. Their lives have been ruined, so why not break into Streamberry and destroy the thing that's caused them so much pain? But what they find is about to shake the very foundations of their existence. The entire operation seems to be run by one man, Michael Cera. Yes, the actual Michael Cera, who, like Salma Hayek, loaned his likeness to Streamberry as well. But when Joan looks at the screen to see the episode generating, she realizes her character doesn't look like her at all. That's because Joan isn't the real Joan. She's actress Annie Murphy of Schitt's Creek fame, who is merely playing Joan in what Michael calls fictive level 1. The Joan she's seeing on screen is the real Joan, who he calls Source Joan, an ordinary, average woman of no particular interest who's being used as a test study for this whole operation. What we have here is essentially a show within a show within a show that goes on indefinitely. It starts in the real world with Source Joan and then actress Annie Murphy playing her. Then in actress Annie Murphy's show, Salma Hayek plays her. This is what Michael Cera would call fictive level 1. And in fictive level 2, i.e. Salma Hayek's show, Cate Blanchett plays her, and on and on. So when Joan has the ability to destroy the quantum computer, she has a choice. Leave it be and go on with her life, or destroy it and kill the billions of simulated souls, including herself, that would go along with it. But she soon realizes this isn't her choice to make. She's merely following the footsteps of what her source did, the real Joan. So it's the real Joan who decides to smash the computer and free herself, finally taking control of her life and making her own decisions. A complete turnaround from what she told her therapist at the beginning of the episode.
I just feel like I never actively chose this. Like, I feel like I'm just on autopilot.
The real Joan is escorted out of Streamberry after successfully destroying the computer, with a quick glimpse of Annie Murphy in the same outfit that Salma Hayek wore when she played her part in fictive level 1. But what this journey has done for Joan is completely change her life. She stopped seeing Mac, who was toxic for her, and Krish, who wasn't the one for her. She's let go of her corporate job and is now her own boss at her dream job of running a coffee shop. For the first time, she feels like she's the main character of her own life. Even Annie Murphy comes to visit her, with both of them wearing matching ankle monitors so they don't go around breaking any more of those quantum computers. And if you stick around for the after credits scene, you're treated to the absolutely heartwarming footage of Source Joan shitting her pants in the real world. Speaking of the real world, Black Mirror episodes often shine a light on things that are happening here. It's only a matter of time before AI machines like Streamberry write, animate, and produce their own shows without the need of writers, actors, and crew. I mean, there are already completely animated shows being made by AI right now, like this Seinfeld-inspired one that airs on Twitch. But something tells me we have a bit more time before we get to Joan is Awful quality levels. It's also a bit ironic that Netflix aired a show about the dangers of AI writing when it's currently fighting the Writers Guild over AI writing. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on covering each episode this season, so consider liking and subscribing. But now I want to hear what you thought about the episode in the the comments below. Thanks for watching. For more bad takes, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember...
Hey, how you doing out there? Cool! Ah!